All right, guys, our cottage cheese keto cream cheese danishes are done, and check that out. This one has chocolate chips. Hey everyone, Dave here, back in the kitchen. Whoa, falling over my own, I'm stuck in the cabinet. Today we're going to cook something that I'm pretty excited about. It's a keto Danish with a cottage cheese cream cheese filling, and I think it's gonna be really good and pretty easy. But we're gonna see, we're gonna mix it up, we're gonna see how this goes. I don't know, I got no words. Danish is one of those foods I absolutely love, but I barely ever can get because of the guilt. You know, if you're on keto, they really don't work. So I love the idea of having a keto option. To start it off, it says we need 2 cups of flour. Now the thing I'm referencing to is ChatGPT. Referencing to or just referencing? That was 1 cup of almond flour, we need 2. I get my recipes, I work creatively with AI, asking it to make recipes based on what I want. And then I try to perfect it, and then I try to cook it and see if it actually comes out good. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it comes out absolutely terrible. We're hoping this is one of those times where it comes out good, but either way, you get to watch when I try it the first time, and I mess up often. That's just the kitchen. But who doesn't mess up in their kitchen from time to time? One day, maybe I'll be fancier, but right now, I just do my best. That was 2 cups of almond. Now we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of coconut flour as well. Now, I don't really know. Maybe you guys can tell me why do you use both in so many recipes? It's very common, it seems like. We're then gonna add 1 tablespoon of psyllium fiber. Whole body wellness starts with your gut. That is actually true, I've heard that. So 1 tablespoon. What's my gut telling me now? It's telling me to eat better. And so that's why we're doing keto danishes. 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk powder. Okay, next we're gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder for the rising, I guess. Get in there, there we go. I watched this movie on Netflix called The Uglies. Have you seen this? It's a book I read back in like 2004. It wasn't that good back then, and the movie's equally not that good. If you're wondering why I took that mental jump, I have some minor ADD, maybe even ADHD, they've said. But the reason I thought of that is because I said The Rising, and that made me think of Red Rising, which is a book, which made me think of Hunger Games, which all are like this rebellion against the powers that be, and that is basically what the Uglies movie I watched 2 nights ago was about. Actually, half of it I watched 2 nights ago, then I fell asleep and finished it in the morning. Anyways, add some sweetener. That's 1 tablespoon of allulose. It says 1 to 2, I'll do 2. I always lean on the sweet side. But you can use erythritol as well. Then we're gonna mix that up, and I'm gonna use the same measuring spoon because, you know, that's how I roll. That's how you're probably doing it. I know there's a lot of people that would have like a different, you know, whisk and all that, but come on. There's gotta be some other lazy cooks out there, not just me. We now wanna melt up a cup and a half of mozzarella. I'll tell you, I heard someone say the other day in a video, Mozzarella, and ever since they said that, I can't help but think it every time I look at the word mozzarella, because it kind of is spelled mozzarella. Is that like just he made a mistake, or am I making a mistake? You know, we're just figuring out how to say words today. That's what we're doing. 1 1/2 cup of mozzarella. I mean, I know in Connecticut where I grew up, they called it mozz. That was what everyone, like I worked at a pizza joint and we called it mozz. So I'm just gonna melt this in 30-second intervals until it's fully melted. Cheesy. All right, so that took about a minute. I'm gonna now add that mozzarella cheese into this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the cheese pull. Maybe I need to go a little longer. Uh-oh. It looks like an epic mozzarella stick. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, look at that. Let's just get it in there. Not even, yeah, maybe I should have gone a little longer. I don't know, I think we can still make it work if I mix it up good. It says to knead it, which I think to knead it, I need to use my hands. Need to use my hands. Get it, get it, get it, get it. We need to add 2 eggs as well. Actually, that'll probably help me. And make sure you don't get any shells in it. I'm living life on the dangerous, oh gosh. That was an epic shell I got in it. Living life risky by adding it like that, but that's all right. We made it work. Just keep mixing it up until it becomes a dough. Although I just realized I forgot my vanilla extract, which I need a teaspoon of. Shall I contaminate the bottle? I'll wash it after. I'll have to wash that. Oh gosh, that's a little too much, that's all right. 1 teaspoon of that, there we go. Now mix it up. I forgot to add that. So let's work it into a dough-like substance for our cottage cheese, cream cheese Danish. You can do different Danish too. Like I'd like to try maybe a chocolate Danish. Maybe we'll do that too. Just put chocolate chips in the middle, right? Instead of the cream cheese, cottage cheese mixture. I think that's how it would work. My nose itches, oh no. You ever notice whenever your hands are like in use, you all of a sudden feel like you need them? I think itching my nose is like a nervous habit too. People have complained about it on this channel. But it's also like my mustache makes my nose itch because it like tickles it. Anyways, this is a dough. We got a dough, don't we? I'm hilarious. You guys are all out there like, don't make any more jokes, Dave. Let me wash my hands. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide these into balls basically, and yeah, like so, evenly sized balls. I don't know what the yield is supposed to be, so I'm not sure how big I should make these, but I'm thinking like 6 would probably be a decent number. Maybe 7. Lucky number 7. Yeah, 7 with the size I did. That one's really big though, comparatively. And once you have your ball, you squish it down into like a round. I'm not sure how thick the round should be. Like that, basically. I mean, Danish sized. We're making it Danish after all. But then you want to make an indent on the inside. Maybe I'll use my tablespoon to do that for our filling. That's not really working at all. I don't know. I'm not a pro. Maybe I'll use my fingers instead of the spoon. The spoon wasn't really working. So you want like some sort of indent because that's where your filling's gonna go. Which that's kind of right. I mean, that's sort of what a Danish looks like. You know, if you're not good at cooking, that's... I'm not a pastry chef, guys. I'm not a baker, but I'll try anything when it comes to cooking and see if I can make it work. All right, so I've got these kind of sorted. I mean, they're not perfect, but you know, once we add the filling, they might look more Danishy. Maybe I made them too flat. Maybe they should be like a little fatter on the sides. I could try it with this one. Oh yeah, see, look, that actually does look better. That does look more like a Danish. Maybe I should do that to all of them. Kind of create a wall around it. Yeah, this feels more like we're on the right track. Let's make the filling. All right, so for our cream cheese filling, we're gonna need 2 ounces of cream cheese, softened. So I think I'll cut 2 ounces here and throw it in the microwave for like 10 seconds to soften it up. Is the outside thing on cream cheese like metal? If you put that in the microwave, will it spark and such? Throw that in there for like 10, 15 seconds. All right, softened cream cheese goes into the bowl. All right, and then we want to add a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese as well. Blend it up. Oof. That was a killer catch, by the way. I just caught it like a ninja. All right, try that again. 1/2 cup of cottage cheese goes into our little blender thingy because we got to make it smooth. You can use any old blender you have or a food processor, whatever you prefer. And then we blend. I'll put a link to this little Ninja Chop thingy in the description below. All right, so we got smooth cottage cheese. We're gonna add that to the bowl with our cream cheese. Okay, so you want to crack an egg. You're gonna use that, oh gosh, just implode an egg if you want to. That's gonna be for your egg wash. It's not gonna go in there. So we're just gonna mix that up and set it aside. You know me, I like to do things in a weird order. And into this, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of our sweetener. Again, I'm gonna use Allulose. 1 and, oh, here we go. 2, so we got a sweetener in there. Then we're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, which I did wash the bottle. I know you guys were like, he's not actually gonna wash it. I did. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna use this fork and mix all that up. Let me get it off the spatula here, although I might need that again, so I'm just gonna set it on the side. Mix it all up, and there's our delicious cream cheese cottage cheese filling. So we're now gonna transport this onto our cookie sheet, hopefully successfully. Yeah, that's not bad. Make sure I can fit all 7 on here. Looks pretty good. And then we're gonna start filling it with our cream cheese filling. And that's just as simple as a dollop in each little hole I made here. Ooh, that's probably too much filling. I gotta use filling control, it says. All the dogs are barking. There's a cat walking by. Molly's barking, the dog out back is barking, the neighbor's dog. Molly, chill out, dog. The cat is not trying to get you. So like I said, you just put your filling in each one. We're about to have some amazing Danishes, guys. I think my dad's grandfather was Danish. Stupid joke. It wasn't even a joke. It was like barely a joke at all, but I try. All right, so now we're gonna bring back that egg wash and just kind of paint the sides here so that it's nice and golden brown after it cooks. And I'll just rinse and repeat. Egg wash, rinse. Oh gosh, I'm getting cheesy. Okay, I'll be back. All right, so I got the egg wash all over this, and now it's gonna go into the oven. These are basically gonna be done in just a few minutes. Goes into the oven at 350 degrees, 15 to 18 minutes. Let's see, it says that until they're golden brown and slightly crispy on the edges. Now, you can try adding some other stuff like some fruit or some low-carb chocolate chips to some of these. So for example, I could just take some of these low-carb chocolate chips and just add them as well. like that, and have a few of these be chocolate chip Danish or cream cheese Danishes. But we'll see. We'll be back. I'm gonna throw them in the oven, and we'll be back when they're done, and we'll taste them out, taste them up, and we'll taste them and try them. All right, guys, our cottage cheese keto cream cheese Danishes are done, and check that out. This one has chocolate chips, nice brown. Can you see? Wait, you can't see it. Oh, it's so hot. It's burning my flesh. I'll try to show you the bottom here. Look. See? It's like golden on the bottom. I'm gonna let them cool so I don't melt my face, and then we'll be back in a minute to try them. They look good. They smell very sweet and delicious. I'm excited. Okay, my impatience is winning. I must try. Do I try? Let me try without the chocolate first. Nice homemade cottage cheese keto Danish. Let me try a bite with more cream cheese filling. It's not as good as a real Danish. I'm gonna start right there. Full disclosure, not as good. Not bad. It needs more sweetness. I should have added more of the allulose. I will say ChatGPT came up with a recipe for erythritol, and I think that might be naturally sweeter, so I probably should have increased the allulose or used erythritol, because to me it's just not quite sweet enough compared to what I'm used to in a Danish. Let me try the chocolate chip. That one actually might solve it because the chocolate chips will add a little sweetness. Yeah, that one's a lot better. And it's not necessarily the chocolate, although the chocolate is good, but it's that added sweetness that I'm enjoying. But all in all, the texture is really good. It feels like I'm eating a Danish. I like it. I would say okay, in the world of Danishes, it's like a 7 out of a 10 with the chocolate chips and a 6 without, but you can't have Danishes on keto, so this is a good alternative. And you could tweak it, adding a sweet fruit, like a blueberry, something that's like kind of keto. Adding a little more of the fake sweetener would definitely help. But this could definitely be perfected. It's a very good starting point for what will be a very delicious recipe, but you know, that's just me. You decide on your own. Very solid Danish. Try it out, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think you're gonna like it. I think it's worth trying. It was very easy to make, so might as well give it a shot. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to Cooking with Dave, and we'll see you next time.